Hi, my name is Haniza Noridayu. Today I'm going to present my part of the presentation, which is inflation. I'm going to start with definition of inflation. Inflation is a situation where an increase in cost of living as the price of goods and services rise. It leads to depreciation in the value of money, which means the same amount of money we purchase a small quantity of goods. Next is types of inflation. There are three types of inflation, which are demand pull inflation, which occurs when the demand exceeds the supply; cost push inflation, which occurs when the cost to produce the goods increases; built-in inflation, which occurs to support the needs of the company. Next is causes of inflation. There are three major causes of inflation, which are demand-driven, cost-driven, expansion of money supplies. This occurs when the supply of goods and services fails to keep up with the demand and cause price hikes for those products or services. In other words, inflation is the rate at which the value of a currency is failing and consequently, the general level of price for goods and services increase. Effects of inflation. There are three effects of inflation, which are erodes purchasing power, increased spending, creates uncertainties. Inflation is a decrease in the purchasing power of currency due to a rise in price across the economy. For example, a cup of coffee used to cost about 10 cents, but today the price is closer to 3 ringgit. Fear that the value of the money will diminish, consumers and businesses attempt to spend before it does. They will spend the money on items that possibly won't lose value. Countries with higher inflation tend to have lower investment that lead to a low economic growth. Therefore, in the long run, the poor level of investment will cause higher unemployment rate in Malaysia. This is a line graph of inflation rate in Malaysia from 1986 to 2026 as compared to the previous year. Last but not least, advantages and disadvantages of inflation. Moderate inflation enables economic growth. Moderate inflation allows adjustments of real wages and prices. Inflation is better than deflation that can cause recession. Disadvantages: inflation creates uncertainties and lower investment. High inflation often leads to lower growth and less stability. Reduced international competitiveness. Reduced inflation can lead to recession. Fall in value of saving if wages don't keep up will lead to low real wages. That's all from me. Thank you, and I will pass this to my groupmate, Ayu Izzati.
Alright, thank you, Haniza. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ayu Izzati. Okay, so now I'm going to continue for the slide, which is government initiative. Alright, first we have allocation of RM31 billion in the form of subsidies in the 2022 budget. Number 2 is providing subsidies for RON95 petrol, diesel, cooking oil, and food. Number 3 is allocation RM200 million to lower the prices of essential goods in the village as well. And last but not least, monitoring the price of goods, especially goods items, in order to avoid unreasonable increases to ease people's burden. Alright, for the next slide is how do governments reduce inflation? Okay, first, government can use wage and price controls to fight inflation, but that can cause recession and job losses. 2. Governments can also employ a contractionary monetary policy to fight inflation by reducing the money supply within an economy via decreased bond prices and increased interest rates. And last one is reserve requirements, which is the amount of money banks are legally required to keep on. Hence, covered withdrawals is another tool used by government used to control inflation. Okay, and for the conclusion, in reality, low inflation rate and upward economic growth is never possible. Nevertheless, low inflation rate means slow economic growth. Whenever money is in excess, debt is eaten by the consumers, due to which the cost of goods escalates. Inflation is not stable and depends on economic growth, expectations, and monetary policy. Emerging markets target their inflation in order to maximize economic growth. Thank you. Alright, now I'm going to hand over to my teammates to continue the presentation. Muhammad Azman. Thank you.
Thank Thank you Ayu and Haniza. I and Hani will present the topic of unemployment in Malaysia 2020. For the introduction, unemployment is a key indicator because it signals the ability or inability of workers to readily obtain gainful work to contribute to the productive output of the economy. This doesn't include people who leave the workforce for other reasons, such as retirement, higher education, and disability. More unemployed workers mean less total economic production will take place than might have otherwise. Statistic unemployment in Malaysia 2020. In December 2020, employed persons edged up month on month by 0.1% or equivalent to 19.3 thousand persons to record 15.22 million persons after registering a decrease in the previous month. The employment to population ratio, which indicates the ability of an economy to create employment, remained at 65.1%. The impact of COVID-19 on Malaysia economy. The impact of COVID-19 on Malaysia economy can be seen via high employment rate and depreciation in Malaysia ringgit against USD. In 2019, the unemployment rate of Malaysia is 3.3%. This can be shown by comparing the unemployment rate in Malaysia in January 2020. The unemployment rate is 3.2%, but there is a continuous increase in the unemployment rate until May 2020, and it reached 5.3%. Job availability factors to overcome unemployment in Malaysia. Government initiative. As an effort to stabilize further the labour market in Malaysia during this pandemic of COVID-19, the government has launched few initiatives under the Penjana, this means National Economic Recovery Plan and Prihatin for year 2021. Under the Penjana SME financing, a total of RM1.18 million was disbursed to 6,139 SME to boost the SME business. That's all for me. Pass to Hani.
Thank you, Nazman. Hi, I'm Nur Hanim. Now I will explain more about job availability factors to overcome unemployment in Malaysia. Providing incentive to generate income and employment. The incentive in the Prihatin Stimulus Package, the Malaysian government has announced a moratorium on loan repayment and assistance to defer loans. The postponement is part of the Prihatin Raya Economy Stimulus Package Prihatin, which aim to protect the people, support and strengthen the national economy, reducing the financial burden of both groups, citizens and banks, and also assisting affected individuals, communities and business sectors. Next, theory of job availability models. Capabilities and values are important elements in job availability. This is because indicators such as competitiveness, ability, value, recognition, efficiency, expertise and skills are among the most important factors and characteristics that determine whether a person gets a job due to competition in the labour market. Two types of theory are linked to improve the understanding of the value elements and skills required in unemployment situations that occur in this COVID-19. The first theory is Required Skills Achievement Commissions Models. It's called SCANS. These skills are referred to as Know the Workplace and consist of two parts: workplace competency and core skills. This theory is considered suitable for application in the COVID-19 pandemic environment and in line with the 4.0 industry revolutions. This compensations model is aspect of efficiency in the workplace, such as first, resources elements related to management like time management and financial management. Second, interpersonal elements, which include a person's skills such as working in team, receiving and serving customers. And the third element is information efficiency, like a skill in obtaining and evaluating information. And the second theory is EVT, that means expected value theory. The theory based on cognitive motivation that links the level or strength of the individual motivation to strive to achieve a particular goals with expectations incentive values, and strive toward a desired goal. For example, looking for a job to earn money for a source of income and sustains. EVT also emphasizes engagement in work. And EVT and employ individuals who highly value works are willing to perform a variety of behavior to get a job, and they are willing to expend all their physical, mental, emotional energy to find a job. In Malaysia, the combination of SCAN and EVT models is very important to help those who face the problem of unemployment. Number 4. Technology skills. The information technology, IT related industry, manufacturing, banking, retail and healthcare continued to provide new employment opportunities during the COVID-19 outbreak. Most companies are beginning to adapt to digitizations and adopt new way of doing business. As a result, individuals need to equip themselves with online skills. Number 5. Career Program Implementations. The hashtag WorkNow program was also introduced to help job seekers find jobs, one of the initiatives to help people get back to work quickly. The hashtag WorkNow initiative was launched as a part of the hashtag Together Ahead campaign, a job street jobs portal initiative that has been running since the outbreaks began. In conclusion, the effect of the COVID-19 outbreak have had a profound impact on an individual's career. Most employees have had to take drastic measures and lay off employees to reduce losses and save on operating costs. Good career management can prevent individuals from becoming depressed during the COVID-19 outbreak. In addition, various initiatives were introduced by the government to support business sustainability. With the various efforts and initiatives implemented, it is hoped to ease and reduce the burden of the businesses. With all the initiative program coupled with the ongoing economic recovery pathway and vaccinations program launched in 2021, the Malaysian labour market is expected to grow slightly and even in the challenging environment following the volatile health crisis situation in Malaysia. Thank you.